Welcome and thanks everyone for joining the conversation. Today we are going to talk about Salesforce startups and ISVs. The target audience is any ISV or founder who is inspired or who is looking forward to build app on AppExchange, or any ISVs who are already building app on AppExchange or their app is live. They will definitely value from this conversation. Our guest is my friend Mr. Shailendra from Jaipur, who is an ISV partner with Salesforce, and their app Astonous is doing amazing. That being said, I would like Shailendra, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you, Abhinav. It is my pleasure to be here and to be your guest. I'm a Salesforce technical architect. I have been in a Salesforce ecosystem for around 14 years. I am leading an awesome Trailblazers team at Astonous. Astonous is Salesforce product and services as well. Apart from work, I am a full-time gardener and I'm a weekend cyclist. I'm living in a Pink City, Jaipur, with my wife and two kids, my daughter and my son. My daughter is around 11 years old, and son is 10-year-old.
Very nice, very nice. I picked one thing here, gardening. Gardening resonates a bit with the Japanese Zen concept that when you garden, you clean up your mind. So why do you do gardening? What is most exciting thing about gardening for you?
I think I enjoy gardening. That is a one thing. I am coming from a farming family. My father is a farmer, so that is a one thing. Not from today. I'm loving gardening from beginning. I grow my food, my veg. I'm eating my vegetables. I think 90% of vegetables comes from my garden, and fruits
Mhm.
are exceptions. I buy only fruits.
Great, great.
And other
And
thing which I love about
mhm.
gardening is I when I'm growing Astonus, and actually I think of, okay, I have planted a seed of Astonus. It's similar to planting a seed of plant. When it is a sapling, you need to take care of it a lot, and as it grow, it need a less take care, and it will take care of itself. So same way I think of Astonus. I think somewhere I can think of, today we have become 18 people, and I think even if I don't come to office, I'm on a vacation, I think the company take care of them by itself.
Right, right. So, I love this last bit a lot, especially like the part where you said that you initially put a seed, then there is a small sampling, and then it becomes a strong trunk which can hold itself, right? And that actually applies very well to any startup. And I also like that you are from a farmer family and you're growing your own food. Many people try to do that after leaving their full-time jobs these days, but good to see that you already have that background. So moving ahead, let's talk about your app. What was the journey like? How did you make a decision that, okay, now I will leave a high paying job? I'm saying like high paying job because everybody in Salesforce gets a good salary.
Right.
So leaving a high pay job and then doing a startup or ISV partnership on your own.
So my background, I am coming from a strong consulting companies, Apperio, Traction on Demand, and I was working as a pre-sales consultant in Apperio. From there, I was investigating RFPs, and in the RFPs, companies were asking for fulfillment in Salesforce, shipping functionality in a Salesforce. So I found, okay, there is a missing gap that we can fulfill. Looking for AppExchange solutions or applications which are ready to use. They are looking for two things. One, it should not take a time to have that solution available for you and start using that application. So I kept that one thing in mind. Second is the support. So when you are buying something from AppExchange or from third party application, you are basically outsourcing the support. You should not worry about supporting that application. And so these were two things when I was building, and of course making it easy to use and make a valuable to the customers.
Okay, you said like you're implementing or you're in pre-sales and you're getting a lot of RFPs and they need a shipping kind of solution. So were there some good apps on AppExchange for shipping?
Yes, there was good applications, and that's what we were doing. Being a consultant, we were always supporting. Okay, you go and this is the application you can install from application. And Aperio, we were estimating in our solution. Actually, we were saying, okay, it's gonna take 8 hours to implement that application, so we will charge you 8 hours of service for installing that application for you. But I was getting a feedback from delivery when the project actually we win. It goes to delivery, and then delivery gave us a feedback. Okay, this is where you missed the estimate. You said it's going to take 1 day or 1 week, but it actually took a 1 month. So that's when I went into the details and see, okay, where is a gap? what is up, because I'm a technical person. I go into the depth of why we missed this, and so we don't do it in a future RFPs. Then I realized, okay, this application has a technical problem that can be solved in a better way, but the company is not able to is not listening us. They have got they are big player and only the application on AppExchange. So I thought, okay, there is an opportunity. We can build something similar, but solve the
Mm.
problems which they are having in their application, and that's
But
how the
Shailendra, what
idea
was
came
that
into.
problem was? Yeah. So what was the problem? Like why, like let's say you quoted 16 hours or let's say 2 days, but it is then month. So what was the problem in those existing apps?
Yeah, I think one problem was from technical side. I speak. The application was built in, I think, 20 or 11 somewhere. That time we have Visual Force pages. Now we are talking about 2024, but that time it was 20. We have LWCs, Lightning components, and the Salesforce technology has evolved a lot, right? And there are dynamic programming is available, so you can make your application totally dynamic, just like the companies like DocuSign have application dynamics. You can install the application, and standard use cases you can configure within a few hours and make it
Okay.
available for the customers. With the same idea, I started actually making it dynamic. At every point, I was thinking, okay, not every customer will do it in this way. They has to plug this application from any object, any record page, and I can make it dynamic. You just go and configure here, and even the configuration page you can make it in a way though. So all the complexity will be in the code, not on the UI side. Somebody is not coming here to learn your application. They wanted to use this application. So that was the one thing I was keeping in my mind, that okay, build the interface where for the developers they can easily install the application from the installation wizard.
Okay.
Second, for a business, it is easy. They should feel like they are working in a Salesforce Lighting interface. They should not feel like, okay, this interface is different than I used to be. Like, if you bring a different interface, it's gonna be, they need to learn.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you are in
Visual Force
Salesforce,
looks very different from Lightning these days,
yeah,
especially a
yeah,
Visual
Visual
Force.
Force, and even if you have build it like a copy the shipping pages, like you are, when the developer is building, you will show them, okay, this is a FedEx, this is how the FedEx UI look like. So they
But
will
not the
try to copy
Salesforce
that
one.
in Salesforce,
Right.
right? And
Yeah.
that's where the problem started with that application. But when I was designing it, I was keeping this in mind. Okay, we're gonna make it easy for a business user, so they don't have to learn something. They don't need to learn how to use that application, and the look and feel, even the functionalities, clicks, everything should be like a Salesforce. If you know, if
Correct.
you are already using Salesforce, you don't have to learn it. You will figure it out.
So if I summarize what you said like the problem was first it's using outdated technology built in 2010 and not maybe updated that much with Aura LWC enhancements. Then I think you said it was not dynamic enough. Dynamic
Yeah,
means
that
that
was a big problem. Yeah.
that's a bigger problem. And
Yeah.
by dynamic, again, for my audience, is the app is built in a given way. They have not thought about use cases that this app actually, especially AppExchange app, it goes in different Salesforce editions, different types of customers have different objects. So it doesn't have to just work with, let's say, Salesforce standard object, account and contact. It can be any other object also, right?
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Very well.
So tip I think for ISVs here is you have to keep the implementation time in mind because as you I think rightly said, I love that point that nobody wants to learn your app. They have to quickly implement, give it to customer, and it has to solve the business problem rather than people learning your app. And then it has to be dynamic enough. These are
Right.
two takeaways.
Right.
Okay.
When it is dynamic, it can fulfill need of more customers.
Correct.
But
Correct.
if you hard code it, okay, only account object, you say, okay, accounts is where all the customers' data is. That's where the recipient is. I can make it work for account. But no, there are customers which are using a custom object. There are customers who are not using a standard Salesforce order, right? They have installed some other application, AppExchange, like accounting sheets, like maybe some other applications. So that
Mhm.
your application should be configurable to work for all the use cases.
Correct. So that makes total sense. And moving ahead, okay, you found this limitation. What was the journey like? Like in short, like how did you decided to leave then the consulting high-paying job and then coming to your own office?
Yeah, so I have the idea, but I did not started even when I joined a company. Left the consulting companies and then joined the company which was in a product to learn the product life cycle, and then also learn how you can sell your business or your services and product being in India. Your sales even is in India. Maybe there are a few people who are outside. but to understand the process, how you can do it from the India. So that was a one thing when I joined the new company. So I learned a lot of things from them, how they are selling, how they are marketing their application, and then the support part as well. So that I learned from my recent employer.
So you're saying like you previously you mentioned Appirio. So these are US centric companies, but then you joined an Indian company to understand sales process from India, right?
Right, sales process, and then get the confidence. Okay, you can do it from being in India. So I got a lot of confidence. Okay, these people are doing everything from India, so you can also do it. And these are
Correct.
same people like you. They are not US people are born sales people. That's what I feel.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's a technical person problem also. We just try to do A plus B is equal to C, which is easy with tech, but sales is a different game. And again, at times, many tech people, what I have seen in my experience, they don't worry about sales. They said, okay, I'm excited, let's build it, and then we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that is correct.
So tips I think for the ISV audience here is think about sales, and as Shailendra said, try to join a company and see and educate yourself how they're doing marketing, how they're doing sales, especially in your own geography, because the sales in a country like US is different from country like India. So love that tip. Thanks for sharing that, Shailendra. So now let's fast forward again. So what was the point where you really thought like, okay, now I will do full time my app, no more a job?
Yeah, so when I actually started building the application, and then I decided, okay, I should leave my full-time job and concentrate on my application because it is not working. Somewhere, Mark, when you have said that, okay, if your idea is not working, and maybe I don't know exact words, but if something is not working, you change your idea, you change the way you are doing. So I have to change my way because from last 2 years I have idea, but it's not on AppExchange, so I have to put it on AppExchange. So from there, I actually first I need to understand the entire process. So I built one free application that actually helped me in learning how the entire cycle works. Because I was a technical person, always involved in the architecture, building the application, coding, and all that, but not in the business side of it. So the free application allowed me to learn the process of making it available on AppExchange. Once that was available, then I already have my application MVP, and I sent my application as well for a Salesforce approval. And I left my full-time job and discussed with them, okay, I wanted to leave the company because I'm working on this idea, and I wanted to focus on this one. Meanwhile, I also need your support if you, because I understand this implementation which we have done for a customer. I can continue support that implementation as a part-time employee, and because I understand this application and understand the customer way of working, even if I work in half-time part-time capacity, I can be as good as the full-time employee. So my employer allowed me, fortunately, and I worked as a part-time employee for I think 8-9 months before I actually went into a full-time focusing on this application. When I went for full-time, I think that time I had a few customers, so I know that my idea is going to work. And other than that, that was a confidence. I mean, not the money part, but it was a confidence. I got a confidence. Okay, this,
Idea is validated, that it is
yeah,
good.
idea is validated.
I'm taking two, three good points here. Like one thing is at times people do that on behind the scenes part, like they don't tell their employer that they're building an app, and that actually impacts their quality of delivery. Whatever doing, their developer, their QA, or their product manager, then there is always a fight at office that why the quality is impacting, why you're not focused. But I'm glad you kept it transparent with your employer, which is a very ethical thing to do, that you're building this app and you cannot give a full-time commitment. And you also wanted to support their current implementation, because at times when you leave a project in middle, it impacts a lot, especially when a senior person like you is going to leave. So this is probably a good tip for guys who are trying to build something. Maybe have a conversation with your employer. They might offer that kind of arrangement that, okay, if you're building an app which does not conflict with their nature of business or their nature of apps, they might support you and you might get a good launchpad to go full time. Anything we want
Absolutely.
to add here?
No, I think you can build your credibility with your employer just by doing the hard work and supporting them 100%. Only then they will listen you. If you are already not
Perfect
paying
point.
your attention,
Yeah.
then nobody is going to listen you, right? So you need to
True,
build your
true, true.
credibility. Once you have your credibility built, I think then you need to go in a market without any guilt. So that's the one thing. And second is you need to market yourself on a LinkedIn and social media. So you cannot do it by hiding yourself. So
Right, right.
that's why
And
I
as I
went
think
to.
they were it right, how was like setting up your own office, getting your own machines and building your own team? What was that journey like?
I think being in Salesforce ecosystem, that is the greatest thing. You don't need any servers or anything, right? You don't need to invest anything upfront. So it was same for me. I was working remotely, working from Jaipur. I did not left Jaipur just because of that reason. If I go to big cities, Bangalore or any other cities, I think I
Very
need to
expensive.
think, yeah, it's
Yeah.
expensive, and I need to think, okay, I need to pay the rents and I need to pay this, right? But being in Jaipur, it is your cost of living is less. That was one good factor with me. And
Hmm.
other than that, day one, if you talk about leaving your job and then working on it, it was not a different. I think it was a usual day. I divided my day. Okay, first half I gonna focus on my application. Second half I gonna focus on where I'm contributing myself. So every day in the morning, actually, I say a few things to myself. Okay, these companies, my customers, they are trusting with me for their money, their time, their trust. So I should contribute to them. So this is every day. I even today. I have a paper where I have write, okay, these customers are valuable to me. They are investing their time, value, and money. I need to give them back of my 100%. Same thing today, even my employees, they are with me, they are investing their time, hope. So
True,
I try
true.
to give
So do you
them.
believe in manifesting? Like you believe in writing your dreams?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Any tips for ISVs here? How can they manifest and what's the right way?
Yes. So I think I can tell my story. For next 3 months, what I visualize is, okay, I will have these functions working. I just close my eyes, write it down. Okay, I will have these functions working on this date when I demonstrating to my customer. I like to visualize like this. Okay, on this date, I have my calendar booked for demonstrating my applications, and these functions are working. Something like I will, okay, 3 months I have UPS working, I have USPS working, I have DHL working, I have DHL, we are a partner of DHL, something like that. I visualize and then write it down, and then I make the activities. Okay, if these things I need to achieve, these are activities which I need to do. Okay, for DHL partnership, I need to write an email to them, right? For UPS, I need to assign somebody a work to somebody who is actually driving that thing. Once you have it, I think all things will follow, because if you have assigned UPS to work, somebody, a developer to work on UPS, he gonna reach out to you if he has a problem. Right? If you
Hmm.
have sent an email to DHL, they're gonna reach out to you. Okay, for the next step, you start that process. I think then everything will happen. Then it become a part of your like day-to-day job.
Got it. Got it. So again, ISV is a tip for you. Visualize your dreams, feel like it is happening, and I mean, universe definitely helps you around. We'll not keep this episode on manifestation. That's a very exciting topic for me, actually. But let's just stay on the ISV track for now. So, what are the challenges, Shailendra? Like, if I say, like, if you start your own ISV or any company, like for some guys, it is finding the funds. Some people, it is hiring the right guys. What were your initial challenges like?
I think if you know how to use a technology to solve the business problem,
Hmm.
you can start building the application. If
Hmm.
you are not technical, if you are not a coder, but if you are a business analyst, understand the business, you can hire some coder to do the job. As long as
Hmm.
you understand how you can use the technology to solve the problem. ISVs to start in Salesforce ecosystem, it is easy. Being in Salesforce, you don't need to worry about the marketing at initial stage. Once your application is live on AppExchange, somebody will make a search on AppExchange with the keywords, and your application will come. When your listing is there, you will get a lead. All you need to do the set up the system in a right way. Building on the technical stage, the application idea and all that, we are technical people. We can do it. I think the fear is how I can put in on AppExchange. How can I get the sales? So that thing, I think at initial stage, Salesforce take care. That platform take care of it. It is on AppExchange. People will search. You will get a lead. You are a technical person. You can demo your solution. If the customer like your solution, they will ask the questions how this application can fulfill their business need. Being in industry, understanding the Salesforce platform, you can tell how your solution will work for them. If it doesn't work, you can tell, okay, it doesn't work.
Right,
But if it is
right,
a right fit, you can confidently, with a confident, you can say, okay, this solution will work and this is how I can configure it. This is your solution. You understand everything. You are not making up anything. So you can totally connect your solution to solve the business use case.
right, right. No, that totally makes sense that you have to see your role and then make a way around it. But I'm again coming back to the same problem. Like typically, let's say you said business analysts, they have to hire the programmer, and you again are a technical guy. You have to hire other developers and other team members in different capacities. So how was your first hiring like?
I think initially I hire freelancers.
Mm-hmm,
And when you hire the freelancer, the one thing is you need to keep one thing in mind. They have a day-to-day job, so their
mm-hmm,
main focus will be there. So you need to
mm-hmm.
divide your task into a smaller task, and then provide them a continuous feedback. If you review your task after a week, I think the person
It'll be
will,
too late. Yeah,
yeah, it will be too late. That will be the context switching, and then you will be investing so much time. So the best thing is, if you are hiring the freelancers, you provide them a feedback on a regular basis, and you
got
test the
it.
things that they are developing. There might be some ideas which are not working, but it's fine. I mean, this happened with me as well. There was something which are not working. You will get technical challenges as well sometimes. But if you are a BA, the technical person will come to you, okay, this is not working. Then you need to go into the details that to understand their challenge, and maybe discuss with in your community how you can overcome. I think there are a lot of technical people's community, architect, ours, so that you can leverage.
Right, right. I love that part where you said, I think you said two good points. That one is you have to believe that the freelancer is not your dedicated employee. So he will be doing thousand other things apart from your project also. Though you can hire full-time freelancers also. So you have to give them a small chunk of task. And again, when you work with multiple freelancers, I have seen that happening is people don't review the work very promptly. So if you are reviewing after a week or after many days, then again, the freelancer will forget what he's doing because he's doing many things and it might be too late. So two good tips
Absolutely.
here.
This happened with me as well. I assigned something and then I reviewed after a week, and then the person has lost the contest, and then I had a hard time. Okay,
Context and yeah,
but it's okay.
right.
I mean,
When did you
sometime you do, but
decided
but the good, yeah, good habit is keep review your work. That so in my day, I was actually first half of my day I was reviewing the work, providing the feedback, and then thinking also in the direction. Okay, this is not working. Now we need to work on a different way. Let's do it in a different way.
correct? So if you talk about, let's say, hiring is done. Now, if you talk about getting your first customer, how was that journey like?
Yeah, I think first customer, I love talking about it. First customer was totally luck.
Mm-hmm.
I say it because it is an enterprise customer. They are still with us. And when I got my first customer, my application, I think it was not 100% ready. It was an AppExchange. It was not 100 working for them. But when I got my first customer, they put a support case on our website, and unfortunately, that case did not came to me. So we totally lost it. Somehow they figured it out. Okay, how? Because our interface was easy, so they figured it out how I can configure it. They configured it, and then I got a one email. Okay, we need to move this in a production. What we can do? Okay, then I provided instructions to them. And the good thing was I never demoed them application till they went into a production. When they were in a production for a different use case, then actually I showcased, okay, there are some more features. So I think the first customer was totally good luck, and that was something which boosted my morale, and the idea was
So
validated
you
in
you got strong validation that you made a
strong validity. Yeah.
dynamic app and dynamic thing worked for that customer. They are able to do it on their own.
And the biggest fear I had when I was building this application is because shipping level. This is not something which you can validate technically. The label is generated, you can see it, but actually will it work? Will when the information is sent to third-party vendors like FedEx, UPS, USPS, their driver will come pick the packet, and this everything goes smoothly. I think that was validated when my first customer brought that application and they were shipping.
Got it. So if we talk about moving ahead, what is the tip you have for finding new customers on AppExchange, like for any ISVs listening to this thing? First thing, I think we got already, build your app highly dynamic so that anybody who's trying, he is not leaving your app in the middle. But how do you find more customers? What's the tips here?
I think make your AppExchange listing more in the details. Write everything on AppExchange as much as you can write, and keep updating your AppExchange listing in terms of you. When you write on a day one, you don't have enough details, or maybe the ideas are coming in your mind. I should say in that way every day, because you are founder, you are even sleeping on a bed, and that time the idea came. Okay, you write it down and then put it on AppExchange in your product detail. That is your storefront. Most of my lead as of today, they are coming from AppExchange. Tomorrow maybe there are different channels, but today AppExchange is our main channel. So because that is from where you are getting most of your leads, you need to keep in mind, you need to be SEO friendly. There is a technology which is somebody is going and searching on AppExchange, so you need to put the right keywords as well. Provide as much as details you can put on AppExchange. Then the customer reviews as well. Even if I'm buying something from Amazon, I go, okay, how many stars it has got, right? And
Mm-hmm.
then if I'm buying, I will go in the details. Is it fake review or is it a real review? I
Mm-hmm.
think with little sense, you will realize, okay, this is the real review from the customer. Even in the App
Mm.
Exchange, it's transparent. You can go on a personal detail. You can see who is that person, right? So I think
Yeah.
same thing when I'm installing the application from App Exchange, or I'm recommending the app to my customer, I do the same thing. So I think other companies who are evaluating our application, they do the same thing. And then the technology part come, that when the lead is generated, you send them emails, send them the details and all that. That's I think
That's a
more of like
different, yeah.
yeah, different.
But yeah, first thing is to get leads. So what I'm getting is one has to put a good listing on AppExchange. AppExchange can give you a lot of leads, and you have to put a good highlight on key features. With that, one question comes to mind. At times, people have a graphics designer in-house marketing team to design very glossy screenshots and very good looking those things. So how do you handle it? Do you suggest people outsource it or do it in-house?
So it. I think initially what I did, I hired one freelancer, and he was, even today I don't have a. I haven't find any freelancer who can accommodate the same result which I hired on day
That
one.
guy,
I hired one person from the
yeah.
LinkedIn, and it went very well. I think he was able to give me a very good designs and capture my mind actually. So I think that was
Mm.
something which worked well for me. I would say you on any freelancer platform, you can hire a graphics designer. Tell them your story. I think they will give you few designs. You can try which one is working, which one is not working. But initially, there is no need to hire a full-time employees. You can outsource it. You just need a good
Do you
banners, good
suggest
video.
hiring a content guy also?
Initially, I did not hire any content guy. I was writing all the content because I know the application, I know the use case. I think I can do it better. So I was doing,
Hmm.
but then it comes about you need to scale it. You need to today, if I talk about, I cannot write everything, and then content guys, they are specifically trained to write in a way for SEOs. So today I reviews that they are not putting anything which is unrelevant, but I have outsourced writing about the application, so they write on a different pages. The way it is affecting is it improve our SEO listing, so it is better. It is coming on a first 2-3 suggestions when you are searching on app actions. Also when you are searching on a Google, your listing is coming, because that's what you do generally. If you need a solution, you will go on a Google or app exchange. If you are Salesforce person, technology person, you will most likely go on app exchange. But if you are a business person, there are chances just search on a Google, let me see what is already available.
Correct. So what I'm getting here is, as an ISV, especially if you are self-funded, still investing in a good graphics designer is good because, as Shailendra mentioned, AppExchange gives you a lot of leads, and for getting lot of leads, your listing has to stand out. So make sure you do an investment, unless you are a graphics designer yourself, which is rare for a business and technical person to do. And content, again, as Shailendra quoted, at times you know the content better than anyone, so you can start by yourself by writing the description of different parts of AppExchange listing. But later on, from SEO and different angles, maybe you can hire a content expert. And again, this is a very part-time kind of job. You don't need a full-time content or graphics person. So that's a good investment to make.
Yeah, one more thing I would like to mention,
All right.
Abhinav, here is Salesforce also has a co-marketing concept. They actually helped us at one stage where we were even just launched the application. They involved one agency which actually was working for Salesforce and maybe already know the AppExchange and all that. So they developed some asset for us, asset in terms of the banner, the marketing materials. So that were also little helpful at that time.
Okay. And co-marketing program, just for my ISV friends, is it open to everyone, or what's the quick way? In
Yeah, I
short,
think
how
it
can
is.
they apply?
I think it is open for everybody. How I came to know is I think my Salesforce, the person who was supporting from me, I think Paridhi or somebody mentioned about that program, and I got an email, and then I think I get started on. I enrolled myself and then had a discussion with that agency, talked about my application, talked about what are the current winners, what are the problems that I have. This is my idea, but nobody is actually. I haven't find a person who could understand it and put it in a graphical way, but that agency was, they were smart enough. I think they understood and provided
Got
me
it.
a good assets.
So co-marketing program, please check it out, ISV friends. That might help you to generate assets and work with Salesforce. Moving
Yep.
ahead, I think it's a bigger discussion. Maybe we'll do it in our next
Yeah,
episode.
it
Is
is called
how?
AMP as well. I think there is a bigger program on that space, but I was just talking
Mhm.
about that particular, okay, asset creation, which is very essential for when you are starting. But when you have started, you wanted to scale, there is a complete program which Salesforce is running, AMP. I think it's a AppExchange marketing program or something.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah, when you are
Yeah. So
partner, you
check.
can see the AMP tab, and you can. There are a lot of assets available, a lot of programs like Demo Jam, co-selling, co-marketing. I think there's a lot of things.
Correct, correct. So yeah, check out co-marketing and AMP program, App Exchange Marketing Program. That will help you. And moving ahead, I think another big area which we might not be able to cover in this episode is what do you do when a lead is generated? Maybe I will invite Shailendra and other ISVs to talk about that, because that's a different license management and those kind of things.
Yes.
But if we stick aligned to our current conversation and talk about your current challenges. First of all, how old is your company now? Like when did you went full time?
23 October 2023, we completed 2 years, so we can say we are
Very
two and
nice.
a half year old.
2.5 years. So at
And
this point, what
same
are
as
your
my
challenges?
application.
Okay,
The
okay.
day we decided, okay, we need to launch this application, I registered the company.
Okay, okay. So at this point, what are your current challenges?
At this stage, the number one challenge is scalability. How can I
Hmm.
scale it? This is working, but now I need to market this application from on a different channels. App Exchange was easy because of the Salesforce, the way Salesforce has make it easy.
Hmm.
But other channels, I need to figure it out. How I can partner with other Salesforce account executives. I think that's what other ISPs are doing. They have partnered. Okay, my application is the right fit for retail. So partner with all the account executives who are
Hmm.
selling Salesforce for retail. You can educate them that your application will fill these gaps, and this is the right fit. I think selling your application to Salesforce account executive is one thing that I think is necessary for scaling your solution, scaling your business basically.
So if I
Other
dissect
thing,
it, sorry to interrupt you. If I dissect it correctly, you are not partnering with A. It's not formal partnership, but it's more of education. Like you
it's
educate them
education. Yeah.
that you have a solution, a paid solution, because Salesforce also gets what 15 to 25 of rev shares. So it is not just a free app; it's a paid app, and it's solving a business problem. So that education has to go to the A, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And same thing you do with the Salesforce SIs.
Mm-hmm.
So SI, like you concrete, we go and demonstrate, okay, Avinav, this is the application, and this is how it can solve your problems of your customer, and
Mm-hmm.
keeping it regularly, because people will forget. Even if today I am trying to do this, even if I have demoed already to Abhinav, after 1 month, I will again demo to Abhinav that, okay, this is the new feature we have launched. We talked about this particular feature you mentioned, but we find the use cases and we have that implemented. So let's have again a discussion. So that is what I do regularly. And the ecosystem that I have got, fortunately, MetaCube, Traction on Demand, Perio, it's like half of the Salesforce ecosystem. So there are a lot
Right,
of
right.
people I already know.
So what I'm getting is a tip for ISVs is work on visibility beyond AppExchange, and you have two key allies. One is the Salesforce account executives, and another one is Salesforce SI partners or consulting partners. You have to educate them that what are the features and what business problems this app can solve, and both are actually doing the same thing. SI also implement the app, they might run into a requirement, so they will be at least aware that there is a shipping solution by Shailendra, and you can use that thing. All right. Any other challenges which you like to quote or any tips for ISVs from here?
Yeah, I think the support has been the biggest challenge for me. Once I launched
Mm-hmm.
the application, support was I never thought that support is going to be that much challenging. But I
Mm-hmm.
think coming to the fact, it was challenging, and the reason it is challenging is AppExchange work in a different way. The versioning is different. Every customer is different. Right? Every customer has implemented the application in a different way, and you are giving a support for a free. So that's what we do generally, but now we have figured out the way how we can provide a free support and still making a money, because business is for making a money.
Yeah. This is a wide area, but in short, if we try to cover it, support what I understood as a PDO, we help other ISVs build apps also, is that at times they don't account for the support cost in the pricing which they are trying to put, and then it goes free. But at times they also offer a paid support thing that if you want support beyond this time, or this much of, let's say, customization, you have to pay. What is your take on it? What's the right way for ISPs to plan their support?
I think absolutely, I 100% agree. However, we do not have a paid support if you have buy the product as it is. But if you do a customization on top of our product, at the time we got the case, we say, okay, you have done this customization, and based on that, we estimate that much efforts. That's how we support. But if you can have a like customized plan that okay, advanced support which will cover these factors will be a separate support, and this much pricing band other you can give for a free. But when actually the problem is when the case come, somebody need to investigate, will this go in a free version or will it go on a paid version. And
Mm.
you might have a customer who has like, okay, these customers are already in the price band, so I don't have to investigate. But these customers are not in a price band. I go and communicate to them that okay, this either you go for a you upgrade your plan, or this is the initial estimate,
Okay,
something
so you
like that.
offered a tiered support plan, like for some range of customers, it's included.
Right. We actually go on a case by cases as of today.
Mm-hmm.
When the case comes, we see that this is totally customized version, or customer is asking something else which is not actually a part of our application but require additional development. We just code for it, and in
Mm-hmm.
90% of the time, customer is they understand what we are talking about.
So one other thought which I had in mind is like AppExchange is used globally. How do you handle different time zones in customer support? Because at times you want to be very prompt when a customer inquiry comes.
Yeah, this is a very good question. When we are selling our application, that time also we mentioned that okay, we are not 24 by 7 support, but we will answer your question within 16 hours. So that's how we at Astonous support our customers.
Mm-hmm.
I
Got it.
think reasonably 16 hours window is enough. We investigate application issue and then provide them, okay, this is the problem, this is the expected solution, this is the time it is going to take. And the way I'll talk about more in the support model, actually how we solve. We initially had a lot of problems, but now it's stable. And how it is stable is technology, again, the Salesforce. I use a Salesforce to manage our business, and every implementation we do actually. So we put the recording of the implementation on our Salesforce, let's say on our opportunity record. We
Mm-hmm.
have the details, the write up of the solution that okay, this customer is using the application in that way. We have entire
Mm-hmm.
write up in a knowledge article. So when the support case come, the person, a developer whom the case is assigned, he will have all the details. Okay, this is implemented. He can look the demo. He don't have to set up a initial meeting with the customers just to understand where is the problem. He will understand the customer language. The customer is talking, okay, I'm facing a problem when I'm going on order detail, and maybe just mention I create a shipping label, and that's where I'm stuck. You will realize, okay, this person is creating label from this custom object. It will get an initial understanding. So that we
Got
are
it.
always documenting in Salesforce. I think
You
that
said a
has
very
been
good
very.
tip here. Yeah, you shared a very good tip here, which many guys I've seen they miss. Is you said you document the whole customer implementation because at times you're too busy getting app installs. But if you have a video recording or some knowledge article, as you said, on opportunity or account, whatever object you use, then it makes support very easy, and you don't have to then scratch the surface from the starting that okay, this is how this customer is done. So that is, I think, a very good tip for all the ISVs that document your customer implementations, even if you have a small app or big app. That will help your support a lot.
Absolutely. When you have 5, 6 customer, you know their use case and in your mind. When you have got a 50, you don't know. Even you are not supporting all of them. Your team is supporting. So this is, I think, documentation is necessary. Initially, when we went to, I think, 25 customers, I have to document all of those 25 customers' use cases, provide the information. I could not record the demo, but I put whatever I had. I put on the knowledge article.
Correct, correct. And you mentioned you got to use Salesforce. So I think mostly ISV is known, but guys who are new to ISV ecosystem, Salesforce gives 2 business edition, which are enterprise edition licenses, right, Shailendra? For all ISVs,
Yes, yes,
the
yes,
paying one, and you can buy more if you really need
yes,
view
yes.
that.
That
Okay.
has been very
Any
helpful to us. We have to buy additional license just because Salesforce, the free version, that does not allow you to leverage knowledge base. You cannot build the
Mhm.
public knowledge base. So that's where we are stuck, and we have to buy one additional license, and that is helping us a lot.
Okay. Do you suggest doing that? Are you building like an experience cloud portal, has self-help portal for your customers? So that's on future roadmap,
We have self-help portal from day one.
and that's powered by
So
Salesforce, hosted on
it's powered by
Salesforce.
Salesforce. Yeah, my entire business, I think, is running on a Salesforce other than accounting. I think everything is managed in Salesforce. I
Okay.
use
So
that to manage the work. We manage this Agile Accelerator. It's a free app on AppExchange, I think, built by Salesforce Labs. So that's the application we use to manage our internal work, and
okay,
then the
very nice.
license
So again, I'm
management,
trying to,
sales, marketing, all this is in
yeah,
Salesforce.
yeah. So one tip which I really liked here is definitely use Salesforce to the max. And as Shailendra mentioned, they are taking an additional license. So don't hesitate putting in extra money in licenses and softwares. And then they build their own support portal on Salesforce. And beauty is, I think it goes without saying, is your sales is in Salesforce, your knowledge base and your support is in Salesforce. So rather than running between 3 or 5 different systems, you have a holistic view of everything in a single portal.
Absolutely, because even if I hire a new person in my team, he is looking on a case, he will see the detail. Okay, this is the customer, this is the article which talk about the initial implementation we did. He has entire detail of the previous cases as well. I have another system. I have to tell him or her that okay, you go to in this system, then you will get these details. You go to the Google Drive, then you will get a knowledge article
Yeah,
information,
that is
right?
too much to
Very
handle. Yeah,
yeah.
that is too much to handle. Okay, Shailendra, I think it's wonderful talking to you. As I said, there is so many layers in this ISV ecosystem. We can talk on each one of them for hours. But to keep this episode short, we'll probably like to come towards an end. But we'll again, I think, do a bigger panel discussion with more ISVs. Before we sign off, can you share some books, shows, or recommendations for ISVs which they can watch or read?
Yeah, I think the book I was reading is a Rework. Rework, I think, I don't remember the author name. I
Author?
think David or something. The book talks about basically when we are building something, we talk about perfection. So this is you start. Don't worry about the perfection. That is the one thing. Other takeaway which I took from this book is being as ISVM, there are so many, or being a product company, there are so many customers who are asking for different features. You cannot add all the features in your application
Your
and
app,
get
yeah.
distracted, right? So talk about a very good strategy that you can adopt. And third thing is you're not building. If I took my example, I'm not building a next Apple or Facebook or Twitter, right? I'm building a small business. So the point is, let's focus on building a small business. Less money involved. Less. You don't need outside investors. You can build the business, sustainable business.
By
That's my focus.
self-funding.
Building, yeah, self-funding, sustainable is one thing, right?
Right. Right. I took a really good note here because that problem as a PDO, my company helps ISVs a lot. So we see this happening is they get super excited when the customer says, okay, I want this feature and I will buy more license. And then there are 10 other customers who are asking 10 different features. And you try to then build everything into a single app. This is again a bigger discussion, but I really like the tip that you don't have to put everything every customer is asking into the single app. Maybe you can develop extension packages, or maybe you can develop accelerators for them, but keep your core app simple and easy to deploy.
Right, absolutely. When there are many customers asking for a same feature and you evaluate it, I think then it makes sense. Okay, this is a feature you can thoughtfully implement and make a part of your application. But a use case which is very specific to a one customer, I think let's not make it a part of application. As you said, I think build the accelerator extension, or maybe just do it on top of your package in their org. And
Perfect, perfect. This is something I really loved and I'm very mindful of when we are working with ISVs. Before we part ways, any parting tips for ISV friends who are listening to this conversation?
I think if you have idea, or even if you do not have idea, if you are working in a Salesforce ecosystem, you have already got a lot of knowledge. You know where are the gaps. There are even when I work with global customers, I have seen, because Salesforce is expanding in a different geographies, there are challenges. There are no solutions available catering that particular region. So there are a lot of still there is a scope to build the application, regional specific application. For example, in India, Tally is a big software that is
Rare.
being used by the customers. But
Accountants, yeah.
yeah, accountants. And like the Tally, there is something in Australia. There is something in Hungary. So there are a lot of use cases. You can build the application. The best thing about the Salesforce is initially you don't have to worry about marketing your application, because being a developer architect, I think our biggest fear is how we're gonna get customers. So you build the application, put it on AppExchange. Once it is on AppExchange, people will search, developers like me and you will search, and you will get a lead. Then after, it's a regular job. You demonstrate your application, keep building, keep improving your AppExchange front page, and the technical side is make the SEO work. Behind the search there is a technology.
Got it,
So
got it. Yeah,
my advice
amazing
is
tip, man.
build it
Correct.
and
Build it
publish
and
it.
find the gaps. Like from whatever you are
Right.
doing, you will definitely see the gaps. And as I think you rightly said, geographically, functionally, business-wise, there are so many areas. But one thing which I would like to add, which I've seen people doing wrong, is if you find a gap, try to get your business approval done because Salesforce might be solving that also. Don't fight with Salesforce or don't compete with Salesforce.
Right.
Find your niche. Have you seen that kind of problems? People start on some idea which is actually coming up in roadmap.
I think I don't have a use case in front of me, and I haven't been to a business review where Salesforce that said, okay, this is in our roadmap.
Our roadmap. Okay.
Yeah, but on the idea exchange, I think sales, if there is an idea in the comments, you will know, okay, Salesforce is planning that idea.
Right.
And from your experience in your gut feeling, I think you'll get some understanding of, okay, this is something which Salesforce can bring. This is a feature. Like if you are trying to build a sales application, right, by leveraging the Salesforce platform and then cutting the Salesforce license cost for sales cloud, I think that is a bad idea. Because
Yeah.
yeah, I have seen a use case where somebody was talking, okay, because Salesforce license fees is this much, I will build something using the platform license, and that will save that much licensing cost. I said, no, this will be failed in review. That is a one thing, business review. Other than that, it is, you cannot compete against the Salesforce has a lot of engineers, a lot of money being invested, a lot of innovation is happening in that space. And if you are competing only on, okay, licensing fee that much and this much, I think this is a bad idea. You cannot compete on a pricing size. But then you
Right.
can,
Right.
it's very difficult to build for me and you application like Sales Cloud, right? I think that is something which I would not advise.
Truly, truly. And do you think if they submit business approval soon, that kind of conflict can be resolved sooner? Like somebody is unaware. And as you said, like somebody's trying to cut Sales Cloud license cost and he's trying to build that kind of app. So I think that will definitely fail rejection in business approval. So before they put too much money or too many efforts, so can they go for an like partner community, create a listing, submit it for business approval? Will that be a good idea?
I will say when you are submitting for a business approval, provide 100% details to your counterpart. part also, whoever is doing a business review, you provide all the details in terms of what is your idea. That is one thing, how you will acquire the customers, why you think this application is valuable to the customers, who are competitors, and what is your strategy. So they are the people who have been in this ecosystem. They are more knowledgeable than you. So take their advice. That's what I did. When I even went for a free application, I clearly told, okay, this is a free application. This is a problem it's going to solve. But beyond that, my objective is that I wanted to understand that cycle. And this application is also, it's useful. It's not a garbage you're putting on AppExchange. So,
Correct.
and when I went for shipping, I clearly told, okay, this is my competitor. That is where the gap is. That is my application is going to fulfill, and that's why these are the reasons customer will pay for my application. So
Right,
I
right.
think
No, that's a very
clearly,
good point. Yeah, you
yeah,
have to be transparent with Salesforce. You can't
transparent. Yeah,
hide facts and then tell later on, because they will do a lot of due diligence on your company, your idea, even your
right.
pricing. Like you can't price like crazy. So, I mean, stay transparent and ethical here. I think with that being said, we really covered a lot of good points, and I would like to thank Shailendra again. Thanks a lot for the valuable advice. And again, on ISV track, there's so many things to talk, so we'll connect again in a bigger discussion. But with that being said, thanks a lot, and thank you everyone who is listening.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here.